This is a podcast called 25 Whistles, talking football, and they all wear a whistle. Yeah, it's stupid, but what did you expect? It's a podcast called 25 Whistles. 25 Whistles.
Below it. There we go. That's always just a little much, but we love it.
It's just, man, when I was a lifeguard, I learned how to whistle loudly.
Oh, that's why you're so good at it.
Yeah, man.
Proficient blower. Presented by DraftKings Fantasy Sports. Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with the code BobbySports, because life is more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void or prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details. I got a couple questions for you guys. Number one, what did you think about Patrick Mahomes' dad bod picture?
I didn't see it.
You haven't seen it?
No. But I bet he's ripped, so.
He isn't.
Oh, so that's the dad bod. He looks loose.
You can kind of see it on the field, though.
What do you mean?
Like, you can see a little pudge on him.
You can?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I didn't expect him to be ripped. And it also shows you to be a good athlete, you don't have to be somebody that's in the gym doing 100 crunches every 5 seconds. I mean, there are other quarterbacks. Look at Peyton. Look at Eli. I mean, your boy, Mac Jones, in college.
Yeah, but you said good quarterbacks?
Yeah. So he's not as shredded. That doesn't mean he's not a great athlete. I think at times we are often confused because there are a lot of great athletes that are naturally shredded, or part of that Venn diagram of people that work out a lot also are better at doing athletic things.
Mm-hmm.
This is bizarre, though.
His what?
He's an elite athlete.
But again, my point is you don't have to have abs to be an elite athlete.
I understand. Like, there's Luka Doncic, too. Like, he looks like he ate 20 tacos before the game. Jokic. But yet he moves really good. We saw a guy the other night, Indiana State. It looks soft, dude, but he could move.
Jamarcus Russell, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
So, I mean, it's just weird that you're an elite athlete and you can really look like you're not eating healthy or really working out every day.
I kind of love it.
Because it normalizes it?
Yeah. Not even the normalizing of it, but he doesn't care.
Well, he's married, kids. I mean, why should he care, right?
He's rich.
Yeah.
He's got everything.
But
he's
still,
Super Bowl champ.
You could still care because it's an image thing. All that stuff is fine. But, I mean, your image matters to you, and his obviously does for other reasons. But there's this picture of him just chilling. It's just got to, I mean, because we all got that little pooch. But we're not
like that, though.
Eddie, yes, you do.
No, you know what, though? I saw it right now, and I was like, that looks like my body, which is crazy, but he is an elite athlete.
Maybe you're more elite than you think then.
Oh, man.
And did you see the video of Juszczyk and McCaffrey out swinging the golf club on the... And they had their shirts off?
Are
They're ripped.
Ripped.
So
from like 50 yards away, you could see their abs.
So that's genetically, crazy. And they work hard, but genetically, like McCaffrey's grandfather, I think at one time was the fastest man in the world.
What?
Either his grandfather or great-grandfather. His dad, Ed, played for Shanahan's dad together and won a Super Bowl.
Ed McCaffrey?
Wide receiver.
Wow.
Like a white wide receiver, and it was even weird then. You don't remember Ed McCaffrey?
No, I don't remember Ed McCaffrey.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Broncos, yeah.
He has a brother too, right?
Yeah.
So he has people that are playing. He was playing it right. Now he's playing wide receiver. He was playing quarterback. All his family. His mom was like a stand. It is.
That's crazy.
Genetically, but it still takes hard work as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, when hard work meets genetics like that, that's when you get that ultimate athlete.
Yeah, McCaffrey's grandfather, former world record holder at 100 meter in the 1960 Olympics, silver medalist. That's legit.
Wait, he's a silver medalist, so he wasn't the fastest.
Well, that doesn't. Yeah. No. You can lose the Olympics, but also have set a time in like a world a
different record.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even sure that's it, but I'm just saying logically you can be the fastest man ever and only win a silver.
You think there's still pressure though on you for like being in that family and pressure for you to be good at whatever you're doing?
I don't know if there's pressure because it's so natural that they're such good athletes that maybe the pressure is to pursue, not to be good. Because you could be burned out by all of it. If all your family's doing sports all the time and all you want to do is dance.
That happens, man.
Yeah, right. Or work on cars.
Yeah.
So I don't think the pressure is to be good. I think the pressure, if there is to be like the rest of the family and do what the family does. It's like military families. There's probably pressure to be in the military. If your grandpa and your dad or police officer,
Yeah, Lieutenant Dan.
So the pressure isn't to go and be the greatest military man. It's probably just to be in the military like everybody else. But shout out Patrick Mahomes. Normalize it. Because, listen, the Chiefs are becoming a team that people are starting to root against because of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, which I'm so pro Taylor now because everybody's hating on him. So I'll just go the opposite. It's hilarious.
I love it.
Even Kelce, though, don't you feel like he's not ripped. He doesn't look like it.
No.
He's so big, though.
But, like, Gronk is big, but Gronk is ripped.
Is he? Does he have abs?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like George Kittle probably is an ab man.
Ooh.
And I feel like George Kittle's probably the best tight end in the NFL.
The best over Kelce?
Yeah.
Wow. Bold. Hot take.
I don't think it's that hot.
Really?
I think all around, blocking, catching. Kelce has Mahomes and has better numbers, but I think Kittle is probably the better. I just think this. That Kittle's probably the better tight end. If I had to pick one on my team to have, I think I would take Kittle because he also is able to be an offensive lineman.
Did you see him pancake Hutchinson?
I did see him. Hard pancake, too. Woo. Yeah, hard pancake. I love a hard pancake.
What?
I like him
love
soft.
a hard pancake.
Okay.
Chocolate chips?
The Broncos maybe want to trade up for Caleb Williams.
Oh, really?
Listen, there's a lot of stuff that happens during the draft, the pre-draft, where people also put rumors out to try to sink people. But the Broncos have the 12th pick overall, and Sean Payton says he really would love to have that top quarterback on the board, and if not that, one of the top quarterbacks on the board. I don't know that the Bears are going to trade out of that unless somebody gives them an offer they can't refuse because they do have Fields. And if they gave him such an offer they couldn't refuse, they could go, well, we do have Fields, and we were already thinking about it even though we weren't going to do it. I just can't see them trading out of that one spot. But that's from Sportskeeda.
You guys like keeping track of all this stuff back and forth? Of like, ooh, they're saying that they're looking for this guy.
I don't know if I like keeping track of it, but I read it because that's what I do.
Yeah. At first, yeah. But like by the time April rolls around, it's like, all right, let's just do this thing.
It.
I should figure out if I'm going to cash out my Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl bets because now it's
can't
one
now.
of two. Or do I cash out some of them?
Yeah, how many do you have?
I can get to it in a minute.
Okay.
Let's do the tittle tattle.
It's time for the stupidest name ever. It's the tittle tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
After 3 of the 4 teams in the CFP lost their head coach this year, which one do you think has the best shot to get back to make the Final Four?
So you're saying a new coach on one of the teams that were in the Final Four, the championship there?
Yes.
Well, the Alabama situation is interesting because DeBoer's an awesome coach, but they lost a bunch of players, and we still have to wait till the portal opens back up and they can get players now because that's going to happen. Like Alabama's going to get some legit players when the portal opens up again, like spring. So that Alabama team right now, I don't think are loaded for another championship, but I think they could be. So I'm going to push that off. Jed Fish in Washington. Jed Fish came from Arizona. Arizona had a good year. They had a much better year than anticipated. Jed Fish is a good coach. Washington, not the program that Alabama is, probably will have a little more trouble in getting big portal players. I think it's going to be Michigan and Sharon Moore because that staff is all still in place.
Yeah.
The player that's at least the most consistent. I don't think he's the coach I would want. He's probably in order the number 2 of the 3.
Who was one? Caleb?
Oh yeah, Caleb DeBoer.
Okay.
I'd give a left neuter to have him. He's awesome. And people are like, I don't know if Alabama's going to be. Well, yeah, he's still the greatest college coach of all time.
Right.
Saban, sure.
But he's awesome. So I would probably go for next year, Michigan. I think they'll be loaded up and ready to go, and a lot of continuity there with that staff.
Okay, next one here. As Tom Brady is set to replace Greg Olsen in this booth next year, do you think Fox is making the right call?
I think they're making the right call, and I think that it sucks because Greg Olsen's awesome. But you just can't turn Tom Brady down. Even if he's not that good in the booth, he'll get better, and he's also way famous, and he's going to make news for other things, which then draws back attention to him. He also is doing football. You just can't. It's like if Michael Jordan was going to call basketball games and he sucked. You'd still want to get Michael Jordan to call your games.
Sure.
So
at least give it a shot.
Greg Olsen's awesome. He's the best.
Is he done?
No.
Okay, he's going somewhere else?
Well, the thing, I was listening to him on Dan Patrick, and he's like, I still want to call big games. I'm going to look at my options. So Brady's got a 10-year, $375 million deal. Basically $37 million a year.
Man, that's crazy.
And so Olsen could either go to the booth or coach, but he's so good in the booth and came up organically. Was just an athlete who was going to do some, color.
Mm-hmm. And he's good looking, so it kind of like made sense.
Yeah, he's fine looking.
You know?
He's good looking.
Yeah.
I don't get a boner, but I look at him.
I don't either.
What?
I don't either. You just look at the guy and you're like, that's all right.
But Tom Brady's replacing him, so.
Totally.
And I do get a boner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, that's the difference.
Exactly.
What's wrong with you today, man?
Greg Olson's he's gonna do well wherever he goes.
I want to see him somewhere.
Somebody else will take him and make him their number one guy.
You think Brady's going to be good?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah. Did you see him making his rounds the other day? He was like on the McAfee show, Colin Coward, talking football. Dude, I mean, you can't help but just to be in awe of him.
No,
just
you're in
talking
awe
about-
because you
Yeah.
love him.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. I had friends who are not
Fangirl.
Patriots fans to
Shut
text
up.
me.
He's gonna be great. He's good.
Just
He's good.
saying.
He's good.
All right.
All right.
With the Super Bowl in Vegas, what are the odds someone gets in trouble for gambling on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being a lock?
I'm gonna say 2. Now here's the thing. If you're on the 2 teams, you can't even walk in a casino. That's why they have them 30 minutes off the strip. If you're playing for Kansas City or on the staff, if you're playing for San Francisco, you can't even go to a casino.
Bro, you go to a convenience store in Vegas and they have a slot
I
machine.
hear you, but that's not how you go down if you're a
The
player.
airport.
If you're a player, that's not how you go down.
Yeah, you land at the airport, man.
But that's not how you go down as a player.
Okay.
And also, private airport, no, there are no slot machines.
Okay. Not one? Okay.
No, you've been with me.
Yeah.
No slot machines.
Just joking.
It's like free food. The other thing is, if you're in the NFL at all, you can't go in the sports book until the Super Bowl is over. So you can gamble, but you can't go in a sports book at all. So is there a chance somebody gets in trouble? Yes. Will it be one of the 2 teams? No, because it's so obvious that could be a problem that it won't be a problem. Now, will they get busted with a hooker? Maybe.
That's a different
There's
story.
no rules against that.
Different set of Vegas.
Yeah, all right.
All right, last one. With Ben Johnson staying in Detroit, do you think the Lions will be a top 4 team in the NFC next year?
Yeah. And I was surprised he stayed, but the word was he was asking for a lot of money because he wanted to stay. And if someone met his money, then he'd have to make a tough decision. But the Lions ranked 1st in yards per game and then 4th in points per game. He's obvious for 2 years in a row. He's been like, he's going to be a head coach. So other than like Josh Reynolds, who dropped the ball. Oh, man.
I know.
People are giving Dan Campbell such a hard time, but Josh Reynolds dropped a ball that was so...
Even the last 4th down or second to last one when they were still up 10 or whatever it was still a decent throw. 4th and 3,
Yeah,
I think.
it was
yeah, and he dropped it.
So I think they'll be really good again next year. All right, that's the Tittle Tattle.
The stupidest name ever. It's the Tittle Tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
25 Whistles presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings app. Use the code BobbySports to get in on the action. We ready for the NBA parlay?
Yeah.
I'm in it now.
Oh my gosh, these are so hard. These are so hard.
No. I've been looking.
Come on, Bones.
I'm going all money lines here, though. Celtics over the Lakers, money line.
Kevin, please.
Go C's.
Let him talk.
Kevin, let me talk. The Jazz over the Sixers, money line.
Embiid still out? No, he's in. Yeesh. Okay.
I know it's game to game. It's like, who's he up against? Is he hurt or not? But if he misses like 4 more games, he can't be in the MVP race.
I know.
4 or 5, depending on what it is now.
Ooh, he's the best player, yeah.
And then that Pacers and Knicks, that line is Knicks are a favorite by 3. But you know what? I'm a big Pacers guy. Even though we had to pull our episode of the Pacers, I'm going Pacers money line over the Knicks.
Man, Pacers with Siakam, let's go.
Pacers money line over Knicks, even though they're underdog. So we got all money line, Celtics, Pacers, Jazz. Collect your smiles.
Let's
You know
go.
what I'm saying?
I like it.
If you want to take the 25 Whistles parlay, you can check out DraftKings Sportsbook. New users use the code BobbySports when you download the app. 21 and up in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
There is a new parlay feature that I saw. Did you see this? Where you can do a 4-game parlay, and if you hit all 4, you win the big one, like the big parlay prize, whatever. But if you miss 1 out of the 4, you still get your money back.
Is it like underdog? Heavy underdog?
No. It's just how it is.
I just got some breaking news.
Oh,
Break it.
Breaking news. Eddie, your guy, defense coordinator Dan Quinn, he is leaving.
Go to the Commanders?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's all right.
That sucks for the Commanders.
Yeah. Wait, what?
It sucks for the Commanders and for Dallas.
Just why?
They're losing a great defensive coordinator in Dallas. I just don't think he's that. Defensive head coaches, not the thing right now.
Oh,
I
you're
think
talking about as a head coach.
The
Gotcha.
last 5 Super Bowls have all been offensive. Look at this year, 2 offensive guys.
Yeah.
Good for him. He'll bring some stability there. I like him. I met him. Spent time with him.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't like. Oof, that's tough.
And for the Cowboys side of it, man, just watching that defense go from the top defense to not really good towards the end of the
breaking
season.
news. The new defensive coordinator is Reed.
What?
The Cowboys.
Oh,
Come on, baby.
Okay, we can make that work. We can make that work.
Hey, I can do it.
He's like, guys, tonight we're going to watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Patience out there. Have patience. You're down 40-0. Have patience. We'll make a good play.
We're not watching game tonight.
It's the easiest game ever. Yeah,
Here's our sit down with Pacers center Myles Turner. Myles, we love this guy.
Oh, he's awesome.
We went for too much access. Can't watch it because the NBA made us pull it down.
Oh, right.
Hopefully, he gets to go back up soon. But he's a former first-round pick, the longest tenured Pacer on the current roster. Here he is, Myles Turner. Myles, we were at the game last night. That was a fun one.
Hell yeah. That environment was crazy.
It was awesome. It was a Monday night, and I was surprised that the place was so packed out on a Monday. The Celtics, good club, and you guys were playing a man down for a lot of the game because Halliburton went down with injury, and you guys still played tough, scrappy. Was last night? Did you feel like it was a scrappier game than normally because you guys had to a little bit adapt to one of your main guys being out?
Yeah, anytime a man goes down, bro, you have to find a way to rally together and whatnot. We just kept telling ourselves if we can make it to halftime. We got hurt 3 minutes left going to half. We can just make it to halftime. We were able to regroup and get where we need to be. But man, you said it, man. Just for a Monday, that type of environment, just to playing the Celtics, it felt like a playoff type environment in the middle of the season and whatnot. And the city's really embraced us just as a team and just as an organization. We've had a whole bunch of sellouts this year. I've been here my entire career, and this is the most I've seen the field house, jumping in live like this. So it's a perfect time to be a Pacers fan.
Being a Texas guy, what is Indianapolis like? When you first moved here, what was the slight culture differences? Well, it's cold. I just say that it's cold.
Bro. Yeah,
it is.
That's the obvious.
So, but what was the big difference? You moved here. You've been here the whole time.
Yeah, a big thing being from Texas. We were kind of just talking about before. Everybody loves football in Texas. Texas is all football all the time. It's like a different religion out there. You come here, it flips. It's all basketball. People love their basketball out here, and that was being a hooper and whatnot, and growing up in that football culture, being able to be embraced like that from the jump out here. You go to high school games and it's packed out like you're coming to one of our games and whatnot. Being embraced in that culture was huge for me, and it made me love it right away. And yeah, man, it's just a great hoop state.
What's interesting is Texas, because you went to UT, Texas, and we live in Tennessee, so UT is Texas to us.
Yeah.
But then they're all saying UT too. So
my girl went to Tennessee. She's just saying that.
Yeah. So I feel like UT's Texas, but so you went to UT, and Texas known mostly as a football school. So even when you're a freshman and you're that dude, still that's a football college for the most part, but coming to a place where basketball is their A1, that's got to be really refreshing.
Bro, it was awesome because you almost feel like the little brother on campus in a sense. You're big bro, clearly 7 feet tall walking around campus, but you're a little bro when it came to just the history and the culture of what it was being down south. But coming here to the Midwest and even just traveling, bro, you'll see Pacers fans just randomly in LA or just even when we go to even back home in Texas or whatnot. That is something that I wasn't really accustomed to and whatnot. And just like I said, it's all about culture, man. It's just real. It's a real thing.
I can take off my glasses and people won't come up to me at an airport or out in public because I don't look like I look when people see me, right? This is probably the most recognizable thing about me, my glasses. However, you cannot be shorter.
No, not at all, man. Specs are fire, by the way. I love the specs.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, but no, it was a running joke. Me and my boys, I used to think all the time I could throw on a hoodie, and then no one ever noticed. I think guys never know. You know what I mean? And I was going to Target or just going just to pump the gas or whatnot. Thinking I could throw on a hoodie, I'll be cool. But it's nah, bro, you can't hide 7 feet. No matter how much you try to duck and dodge. But I just embraced it, man. I try to be a man of the people and whatnot. I try to respect, just the fans and whatnot. And it's a mutual respect. That's another good thing around the city. No one really just bothers you. Maybe a picture here and there, but no one's really just in your face all the time. But then they got respect for, what we do, embrace our line of work.
Eddie's 5'11". He claims to be
6 foot.
So you're listed as 6'11 and a half. Why not cheat that extra half inch?
Bro, it's even crazier. If I go to the doctor, I got to measure. I'm 6'11 and 3/4. And, for the longest time, I was just saying, it kind of depends on how I feel. When the people ask me one day, I'll be like, I'm 6'11. Today, I'm like, what? 7 foot kind of day. Yeah, I'm 7 foot. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling that day. But I don't know, just, the NBA really cracked down on the whole height thing a couple of years ago. So I've been stuck at 6'11 3/4 for as long as I can.
Was that with your shoes on?
Yeah, with the shoes on.
Okay,
so I'm 6'10 and 3/4 out my shoes. Just can't win.
Can't you put on thicker shoes?
Yeah, if I really wanted to, but at the same time.
That's what I would cheat it.
Oh, for sure. High heels.
Yeah.
Bones comes in high heels. Yeah. Myles, so we do, a lot of us want to be taller. We think it's so cool to be tall. What's it like to be 7 foot?
Bro, it's awesome.
In the world.
Definitely a different view on life. It has its ups and downs. I've a couple of years ago, I had a listed concussion because I was on my phone and I wasn't paying attention. I smacked my head on a doorway, like to the point where I'm kind of down on the ground. It's like, oh my God. So I was out for like a week and a half. So
Really?
Oh yeah, no, I was out, bro. Like it was a straight concussion, saw white flash and everything.
Oh.
So that part of it sucks, but it's different perspective on life. I mean, you get to just do things other people can't do, can reach stuff on the top cabinet and stuff like that. Like,
You can get the good cereal.
Yeah, the great cereal for sure.
It's a good cereal.
Yeah.
What about airplanes though? Like,
Yeah, or like a Mini Cooper. Ever gotten one of those?
Nah, never. Cars are definitely a struggle, bro. I've driven trucks like my entire life. So I'm a big pickup truck guy. But airplanes, like if I don't have an exit row or a first class seat, I can't fly, like whatsoever. Like either my feet are gonna be up like this, or the person next to me just gonna get it. Like I don't know.
When did that happen for you? When did you grow the most? And did it hurt because was it so fast?
Yeah, man. I was probably my biggest growth spurt. Well, honestly, it was my feet. I went from a size 14 to an 18 in a matter of like 2.5 weeks, bro.
You were at 18.
I'm a size 18. I've been wearing
16.
18.
I'm just kidding. I'm not.
I've been wearing 18 since I was like 15 years old, man, and couldn't really get shoes and stuff when I was younger. But the height part, knees and my back always ached. But I grew from 6'4" to about 6'8", 6'9".
How old? 15?
Yeah, I went from my first spurt. I was probably it was my freshman year, so I was 15 years old, going into my sophomore year. Then after that, I progressively grew an inch every year. So I hit 6'11" in high school.
If you're 15 and you're 6'3" or 6'4", whatever you said, that's large even for that.
Yeah.
So did you have ball handling skills at 15, 16? Because you've seen a lot of the big guys. Now they come up with ball handling skills.
It was a big credit to my dad. I didn't want to. I wanted to just be a straight post player. I wanted to just have my jump hook and drop steps, up and unders, and all that stuff. But he made me stay after every practice and work on my jump shot and my ball handling. And I thought it was stupid. I was like, I don't need to do this. I'm taller than everybody. Because I'm telling you, it's gonna be a day where you're gonna have to be able to do everything. And then literally, I've seen the NBA shift from my rookie year to now. Like you said, everybody has to be able to do everything, and big credit and ups to him for that.
One of my friends plays for Oklahoma City, and when he played college ball, he was 6'9", 6'10", listed around there, and he was, a 4 for the most part. Occasionally he played, just a straight post, but now that he's in the league, he has to play more of a 3 at times, and he has to shoot outside a lot more. So he's had to develop that part of his game a whole lot more. But he's shooting like 35% from 3, but he didn't shoot a lot of it in college because he didn't need to shoot a lot of it in college. So when you were in high school and college, were you still taking lots of mid-range outside shots, or were they like, no, you're the best here, we're going to win with you inside? Like, what were you able to do?
So high school, you're pretty much the man, right? You're the big man on campus, you do whatever the hell you want to do. I was shooting threes, I was doing whatever. I was pulling up from half court, like just whatever I wanted to do. When you get to college, it's a little different. I was a very highly touted recruit, but I came into more of a system, and I didn't shoot a lot of threes in college. Like maybe 12 to 15 threes I probably shot on the entire year.
Could you though?
I definitely had the capability, but I didn't put it like on display as much as I would have liked to. And even my rookie year, I didn't really shoot a lot of threes. Then as I started working and realizing where the game was coming to, it was all threes and layups, no longer mid-range and whatnot. So I was able to, get my percentages up, and I've spent a lot of time working on my threes in the summertime, and obviously, shoot threes to this day.
You're kind of a veteran around here. Like you've been in Indy your entire career. Like you said, when rookies come in or the younger guys come in, do you kind of talk to them a little bit about money and life a little bit, since you kind of know what to do with that in the NBA?
Yeah, to an extent. I mean, I think there's a big curve you have to figure out like on your own. You can really have someone tell you something that's blue in the face, but until you actually go through this yourself or go through the trials and tribulations yourself, you're not going to fully be able to appreciate or understand it. So if I see, a rook, I don't know, splurging or going crazy, I might be like, hey man, like, let's think long term here. But for the most part, it's not really like that. Like you have a locker room full of like this younger generation is like a lot smarter and whatnot. They have more and more stuff. You have people on TikTok that can show you how to manage your money now. Like it's a little different. But being the big brother figure is important than anything, because it's a long, grueling season, man. Like you play 82 games, play 4 or 5 times a week. That's the part where rooks probably like struggle the most, is just trying to figure out what to eat, how to get their bodies right, how to maintain their sleep, waking up on the road and not knowing what city you're in. Like that little stuff is the stuff they need more help with, I would say.
Do you think that with the current environment in college basketball, where players are now able to make some money with NIL, that actually like warms it up to get to the NBA, because they're going from no money to actually a lot of money, especially if they're a first round draft pick? Like that's got to help a bit. You've already got an agent sort of, and you're making some money. So maybe even before you draft a kid, you can kind of see what he's doing in that part of his life as well.
Wow. Yeah, that's a great way of looking at it. I just think that the biggest goal for a lot of us is, putting our parents, putting our families in better positions and whatnot. So I think the NIL is obviously a great thing to have the introductory phase to it. But I think a lot of that money at that time probably go back to your family. Whereas when you get to the league and you start actually, making money for yourself, like you start doing more stuff for yourself. Like, I don't know whether it's like starting your 401k right away, or I don't know, like my first purchase was, like I told you, my pickup truck. Like that was like a big thing for me, like something I always wanted. So it definitely helps that introductory phase. If GMs are looking at spending habits and all that type of stuff from there, it might be a little too micromanaged, but it is definitely a good like gauge, to come into this level, I would say.
I try to stay somewhat fit, and I've had a couple TV shows where I've had to be fit for the show, like climbing stuff or living in the wilderness, that kind of crap. But I just now started to really focus on stretching.
Oh, yeah.
Even in the past, like I couldn't go down to my shins, but now I can go almost palms to the floor. Never been able to do that. How important, and when did you kind of embrace that? I won't say next level, but I used to just want to run and lift, and get better at the skill. But until I started doing like stretching, like I now feel like I can do things better simply because of the stretching and like that tier 2 exercise.
Bro, it's huge for us because biggest thing about stretching is injury prevention. When those tissues are like long and able to like just you're able to elongate your tissues, your muscles and whatnot, you're saving yourself maybe 5-6 years in your career. For me personally, I started doing yoga like a lot, maybe like my second and third year. But I was doing yoga more for like just what you said, like the stretching and the aspect of things. And I really started doing yoga for like the mental aspect of things, the meditation, just the actual escape from reality and whatnot. Like that part of it was huge for me. But being able to be limber, especially how tall I am and whatnot, is huge for what I do. So big ups to you for being able to actually
I'm like 40
get through
years
that,
ago.
man.
I just
Like,
got started, man. It's like too late. It's too late. But like maybe I can like get 3 or 4 extra years of life. You're trying to get a few more in the league. I'm trying to get a few more in the big league.
I hear you. The big league.
The big league. the big league of life. Last night we were watching you play, and you're always working. Like that's how I would describe it. Like it didn't matter if the ball was with you or not. We were watching you last night, and you were just always working in the paint, getting out, getting back in. Sometimes are you just like, give me the freaking ball? Look who's on me, because like
this little guy.
like mouse in the house last night a couple times with you, and I was like, get him the ball.
Yeah, man. We're not gonna go too into that, but one thing I've had to learn, being in my position is, early in my career I would just stand still. I would either just be standing in the corner or just stand on the block, just like waiting for something to happen. I'm at the point in my career now where I'm trying to make stuff happen. Whether I'm setting a flare screen, whether I'm trying to like run up and cut or get this guy open to give myself a chance. Like, yeah, when you have smaller guys on you, you're constantly thinking, hey, look. But then your guards are always looking at a whole bunch of different things, like, oh, how do I score? How do I get everybody else involved? So it's just you have to be a well-oiled machine, doing things the right way. But a lot of that for me is just being demonstrative and being like, yo, or yelling or cussing somebody out, like, yo, I need the ball. But like, you're right, I'm very active. I try to never stand still because now I'm doing myself and my team a disservice.
All right, final 5 questions.
Myles, as a big, you're guarding the paint, and this little guy comes in, does a Euro on you. Is it frustrating when you're just like, come on, dude, I saw 3 steps. Like, I saw that. Like,
unfortunately, it's the NBA, man, and traveling is something that is just, it's very rare that they'll call it. It has to be so obvious. But like guys get away with a lot of stuff in this league and whatnot. And I'm past the part of frustration. It's just like, damn, either I'm just gonna foul him or gonna block it. Like I'm not gonna give a shit about the travel.
This program, I like the Pacers because the Pacers feel like they care. I don't know why I feel like that, but the Pacers feel like it's an organization that like cares about their players.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like that?
Because you're seeing it, man. I think that we've developed such an amazing culture here. It's not like this everywhere else. I mean, I've only been here, so I'm biased, of course. But I hear from other free agents and other players that, just taking care of something simple as taking care of a player's family. Like when they come in here, making sure they're good. Like they go the extra mile to make sure, friends and family, wives, daughters, all that are fine. Even if it's our off day, like we need, I don't know, they'll bring in someone to wash our cars or something like that. Like it's very first class service, like everything you do here, especially in Indy. Like I said, I'm not exactly sure what it's like everywhere else, but I know it's not as good as it is here.
Not that. So, who is? If you see you're matched up with blank, you're like, oh man, this is gonna be because they just go like it's gonna be a tough night.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple, man. I mean, the guys like like Jokic in Denver. His imprint on the game is everything. He can do more than a score. He can score. He can facilitate. I mean, he's about damn near 300 pounds. Like it's a lot to deal with and whatnot. Embiid's the same way. I mean, there's guys like even the kid in Houston, like Sengun, like he's someone who's very mobile and whatnot. There's a lot of active bigs, nowadays. It's not just guys that are, blocking shots and rebounding and facilitating. Like, there's a lot more to the game now.
But who's your one? You're like, if I see this, I know it's gonna be a long night for me, or at least a hard night. Like, you're gonna sweat a little more.
I can't let them know.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
fair enough. I see that.
Gotta keep them guessing.
Myles, I hate Legos, dude. Like,
Really?
I'll tell you why I hate them. I'll tell you why I hate them. Because I have 4 kids.
Okay.
And every time I try to get to the kitchen, at some
Step on
point,
one
I'm
of
going to
them
step
boys,
on a
I'm already
Lego,
knowing.
and it's going to piss me off. And I hate them.
Okay.
What do you love so much about them?
I'm not a father yet, so I haven't, experienced that notion of it. But my biggest thing, bro, is just such an escape for me because, like, I think I have a very, like, I'm not diagnosed, but the ADHD thing and, like, the super, like, I have to be doing, like, 3 or 4 things at one time, that's really helped calm me down with that. Whenever I have, like, a hard day or a hard game or something like that, I don't do anything basketball. I shut all that out. Like, I don't get on Twitter. I don't in nothing. I go there and I just build, bro, and I can be in there for hours. And whether I'm just doing an actual, like, set or just free building and whatnot, it just takes my mind off of everything. And people, my people that live with me know not to bother me. Just like I'm just in my space, I'm in my zone. And then obviously, I've put out a lot of, my content with my work and whatnot. And something that's take a lot of pride in,
You draw and paint because you're like an artist.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how I like to view myself. I mean, even just the stuff I do on the court, it's like a byproduct of my art. But I could draw a little bit. I mean, I try to paint.
Yes. Anybody they can draw a little bit, they can draw.
I'm not no grand, artist or whatnot, but when it comes to the painting and stuff, but yeah, I can express myself pretty well in different
When
ways.
you build a piece, is it together forever?
Do you
break
glue
it?
Do you glue it?
That's a big Lego sin. You never glue the Legos together. I mean, if you're like you're at a museum or something like that and you're doing like some auction off work, then maybe, but like the glue just makes everything a mess. And it's like impossible, like just if you mess up, like you're screwed, you know what I mean? So, like,
I would just glue them together when I got them. They're like, that don't work. That's my excuse. That's why I can't do it. All right, final question. Basketball, a big part of your life, obviously, but not the most important part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
At what point did you realize that you're not basketball? Basketball's not you. It's what you do, but it's not all of you. At what age did you finally realize that? And then what is important to you?
Yeah, man, I think a couple years ago, so maybe like my 4th or 5th year in the league, the biggest goal was to get to the NBA so you can make a lot of money and be famous and this and that. Like, that's how people view it and whatnot. The fame is not all it's cracked up to be. The money, I mean, it's if anybody hears that and they say, "Oh, money isn't everything," it isn't. It helps a lot. It helps with the travel. It helps provide a lifestyle for you and your loved ones. But it's not the only thing with this, bro. I've just really realized that like love is everything for me. Whether it's like the love I receive from my family, the love that I give out back to my people, my community, like. That's the only real thing I really believe in this world. You know what I mean? Other than my faith, and the higher calling, but like just truly just love, man. And I don't want to get too touchy on that, but like it's just one of the things that it's one of the things I've experienced over the past couple of years that I think is real. And the money and stuff, that's going to fade eventually. The fame, people are going to forget who you are eventually. Like the next wave of Myles Turners and basketball players are coming in every single year. Like all that stuff is cool, but it's very surface level. So I mean, just my loved ones, my peoples, and just what I provide is both things that are the most important for me.
We appreciate the time you spent with us. It's like you're known as like the dude that people love around here. We were walking through here, and it was like, Myles wishes you a happy day. There's like a sign of you out there with like wishing you.
And we appreciated that. We appreciated that too.
There's the ice skating rink from Myles. I'm like, what guy should run for mayor of this town? But it's like, and this is the last question, but it's like, and being around you, you're so warm and welcoming. Like as soon as we walked in, but on the court, it looked like a different person. Mm-hmm. Is it a switch or is it a gradual? Like, how do you get there?
It's kind of a trip persona, I guess. I feel like when you get in between them lines, you're taught as a kid, like, you can be fresh, friendly as you want, have all the friends in the world, but you cross these lines, you got to change your mindset, like, completely. Like, you're going to war, basically. You don't want to be the friendly one going to war and whatnot. You'll get, you get taken advantage of. But when I'm out there, I have to put on a different persona. I have to be the face and the guys from my team, to be able to look on and to be able to embrace as well. But when I'm off the floor, I'm gonna be me, bro. Like I said, this basketball is whatever. It's my job. You know what I mean? Like,
give him the ball. Mouse in the house. Give him the ball. I'm saying it right now.
You heard it here first.
That's what I kept yelling last night. Mouse in the house. Give him the ball.
And they couldn't hear you, dude.
They couldn't. No,
it's
too far.
frustrating.
Hey, really appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed, bro.
Thanks, Myles.
Myles is awesome. Also, Pacers assistant coach Jannero Pargo ran us through some drills. We got to hang out with him for a little bit. For me, I didn't ask for this. I just got very fortunate because he's also an Arkansas legend as far as basketball goes.
And I was proud of you for being cool about that.
I wasn't that cool, but thank you. His 3rd season with the Pacers as assistant coach. We did some drills with him. He's super cool.
Coach, thanks for the time. I got to tell you, let's see this. That dude right there.
We'll pick Suey.
He's trying to be cool right now, Coach.
Like
Go
you were
Razorbacks.
like my dude.
My
like
man.
you, Brandon Dean. Like when we got here
You
last
said you were
night-
gonna geek out.
I know. But they were like, "You're gonna talk to Pargo," and I was like, "For real? Like, I gotta be cool?" And they were like, "No, you don't have to be." But I was like, "But I naturally am." But I come across half court, just drill it. Just drill it. Like, I'm not even asking him a question. All I'm doing is
Just
going
tell
like,
him what he
do you
did.
know how awesome you were and how awesome you were? Like, so just first of all, as a fan, like, it's super cool for you to spend a few minutes. I appreciate that.
Oh man, thanks for having me. I'm glad you're saying this right now while Miles is here. So
I told him before you came in. I was like, man, I was a big fan. He crossed half court. He's lethal as soon as he crossed the line. Did you always have the green light?
even when I didn't have it, I had it. You know, I'm a shot taker. I'm a tough shot maker. So when I didn't have the green light, I just made sure I made shots, and then the coach was like, "All right, well, I guess he can shoot it."
Which coach was your shooting coach? Which coach do you credit with giving you either the confidence to take it to the next level, or even maybe don't take as many bad shots?
You know what? I think it's just myself. You know, just growing up playing a lot of basketball, you kind of figure out who you are as a player. And I figured out maybe in high school that I was a pretty good shooter. And, you know, I'm an aggressive basketball player, and I take chances. And like I said, at Arkansas, I was able to make a lot of shots just across half court.
In transition, too.
In transition.
Boom. Just,
yeah.
He remembers.
I could walk you through most of them. So you play a bunch of years in the league. At what point do you realize you think you want to stay in the league to coach? Like, when did that hit you from a player when you're like, I want to continue my career in basketball, but as a coach?
You know, it happened, I would probably say 2014. I was with the Charlotte Bobcats, and we were playing the Boston Celtics, and Kemba Walker, we were getting killed with just a pistol action. And you guys may not understand what that is, but...
don't insult us, but we don't understand.
No clue, Coach.
Yeah, but we also don't understand.
It's a simple action that every team runs, and we were getting killed with it. And Kemba came to me like, yeah, JP, like, what do we do? And I was like, all right, do this, do that, and do this. And it kind of worked. And maybe
So
I can
you
do
coached
this.
right there?
I coached right there as a player. So Tree Rollers and then me, player coach.
Did you know what you were telling him, Coach, or were you just kind of, hey, try this?
No, I knew what I was telling him. I had been in that situation before. Like I said, every team runs the same action. We run it now. So it was something that I seen before. So
What is pistol action? Because we don't know.
just a simple pass ahead from the 1 to the 2, and then the 1 flies off.
Yeah, pistol
flies off where?
It's
And then
it's a different language right now.
Last night, the game was pretty intense, the whole game. We were at the game. It was a great win last night by you guys. How competitive are those games for real mid-season? You know, we're getting close to the All-Star break. Like, how much are guys still in it then?
Our team is very much into it. Boston Celtics, really good team, and it's a team that we beat once before, and they beat us as well. So we wanted to come out and make a statement. They're in the Eastern Conference with us, so huge game, great win for our team. Tyrese is going down. We just came together as a group, and we got the win.
All right, final 3 questions for you. When you're coaching internationally, because I might have followed you, you know, where you went all. I might have.
Settle down, man.
I know. I might have been a huge fan and still am. What is that culture change like for you? Because we were talking to Myles about going from, you know, Texas to Indiana, but you're going into another country and, you know, South America, Europe. Like, do you just get to live basketball, or where's your favorite place to live, and what was it like to live there?
Well, I lived in Russia for about 6 months.
That's crazy.
You thought this was cold.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Cold.
Yeah.
You went cold? I'm going like,
Oh, communist?
yeah, like,
Gotcha.
yeah, wow.
Well, in the basketball world, it's very small, right? So I'm in Russia. I went out to a club, and I saw maybe 10, 15 guys that I knew. Russia's like being in New York. It really is.
Except they will throw you in prison if they feel like it.
Yeah,
If they just get an itch.
just follow the law.
Yeah, I hear you.
He's like one of those
Yeah.
guys, Ivan Drago.
Vladimir Putin.
Coach, when you're on the bench, like sometimes you got a fan right behind you, or like the fans are right there on you in the NBA.
Yeah.
Do you hear crap when you're on the road all the time, or do you like to turn around and be like, "Shut up," or do you talk to them at all?
Yeah, that's look at these guys.
Oh, they're looking at him. He's
look at
getting
these
the
guys
eyes right
perking
now.
up. So you have myself. I'm born and raised on the south side of Chicago, and we have another coach, Mo Baker, who's from St. Louis, and so we hear everything. right? And we kind of let these guys, the fans, they're fanatics, right? We let them talk. But when they start getting on our players, Mo and I, we get defensive. And so we stand up, we turn around, we say, hey, listen, chill out. Now, if you want to cheer for your team, cheer for a block shot and made basket, that's fine. But when you say, hey, Myles, you suck, we're not having that. So we kind of set them straight after.
That would scare me.
After
Because they are so close that they think they can say whatever they want to someone that's 5 feet away from them.
Yeah, it's it's not fair because when players say stuff back to them, now it's an issue. Right. Middle finger, all that kind of stuff it's not fair. So Mo and I kind of take on the challenge of shutting those guys up.
Final question for you, just basketball in general. Like, what has basketball provided you?
A great life. Basketball and life is synonymous, right? It teaches you how to sacrifice, how to work hard, and it just provided me, a great life to take care of my family, my friends, to travel. It's a game that I love. I still love it to this day. Just being part of something that's bigger than just yourself, right? So for me, being able to coach and being able to help guys, Myles and really the younger guys coming into this league is everything for me.
We really appreciate the time. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm a huge fan. All right, there he is, Coach Jannero Pargo. Coach, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One other thing we got to do was work with the sports performance coach, Andy Martin. And so we did talk about a lot of things these athletes do. So here he is talking about recovery, hydration, and then he put us through a grueling workout, which sucked. But here he is, Andy Martin of the Indiana Pacers.
I was talking to Myles in the last couple of years. I've really embraced stretching. No, a couple months. He's talking about years. Mine's a couple months. And I was a decent athlete, but like a high school athlete, right? But I could never get to my shins even stretching. But I spent the last 2 or 3 months, 15 minutes a day, 3 times a day stretching.
It's good. It's never too late to start. It's going to save you a lot of aggravation down the road.
I'm not 100.
For an older guy like you.
Yeah, he's like, for you senior citizens, but I hear you. Now I'm hurt right now. It's okay. That's all right. It's all right.
No, he said it's good for you, man.
Yeah, no,
It's
I hear. And I was talking to Myles, and he was like, hey, it's awesome at injury prevention. But I would think with a lot of guys who are naturally athletic, that their whole life they have been the best athlete and probably haven't had to go next level with the stretching or even the nutrition. Like, how much work do you have to do with young athletes to teach them, well, if you're not doing it now, you're eventually going to do it, and this is what we should do?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. And that first point you made, these guys have always been the best player on the court, every court they've been on, until they get to this level. Then the issue with that is once they get to this level, everybody's really good. So you have to have a certain requisite level of talent to be able to make it to the league. But then what separates guys from, okay, I was in the league for a year or two, or I had a really productive career, or guys like Pargo who had a really long career, were in a lot of different places. The dedication and the work ethic and just the layering different levels of professionalism into it in terms of how you take care of your body, how you manage your sleep, what are your nutrition habits, are you stretching, are you doing all the sport performance stuff that we try to help guys with, and using all of those resources is what really separates guys from being, okay, I was in the league versus I was really successful in the league.
I'll hop in a hyperbaric chamber sometimes, but I don't even know what that does. What does that do?
So a hyperbaric chamber basically just puts more oxygen into your blood, which then helps your body do the normal processes that it would do from a healing regeneration standpoint. It just sort of speeds up the process a little bit.
So it's for real? Like that thing works?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I get in, I pay the money for it, like $108 for the hour.
It is expensive, but it's money well spent, especially if you're really trying to, dial in, like you said, the stretching, the
no more dialed in, no more dialed in than me.
Yeah, that's
no more dialed in than me.
That's the same type of stuff that we try and convince our guys to do. So,
as far as diet goes for some of these players, do you have to kind of just trust that they follow it and they do that when they're not around you?
There is a certain level of trust that we try to give to these guys. At the same time, there's a certain level of education that we try and give to them because we aren't going to follow them around 24 hours a day and knock stuff out of their hand. But what we try and emphasize is viewing, the nutrition and your nutrition habits as fueling. Like your job as a professional athlete. So the nutrition really is an important part of that. And then kind of taking the guesswork out of it for them. We try and provide as much, high quality food as we can. We try and set them up with chefs when they're here or to take stuff with them on the road. So we try and make it as easy and as not labor intensive for them as we can. But like you said, at the same time, at the end of the day, we're not going to be around, the hours they're not in the building. So we do have to give them an education in terms of what they need, and then trust that they're going to follow those steps.
All right, final 3 questions. We've been to a few places in our journeys where they have little pee containers in the toilets, and they always want to check and see the pee color.
Oh, that's awesome. The hydration things.
Yeah, but we don't turn them in.
No, we don't.
We just pee in it and look.
Of course.
And then go, wonder what that means. What does that mean?
So those measure your urine-specific gravity, which is basically just a way to see how well hydrated you are. So the old adage used to be, if it was dark, the darker yellow it was, the less hydrated you are.
Or mine's bloody a lot. Is that good?
That's not great.
Okay, never mind.
That's not
never mind. Let's get off
That's
that.
a completely the hyperbaric not going to help you
All
with
right,
that
good
one.
deal.
That's
back
a different.
Back to the normal.
Why would you say that?
That's a different problem.
Go ahead.
But no, so in general, that meter that goes in the urinals, it'll either give you that blinking red light, which is bad, you need to go hydrate immediately. Flashing yellow, which is where a lot of people stay, especially early in the morning. Okay, you need to do a little bit of hydration. Green, you're fine, keep doing what you're doing. So if you're green or yellow, that's where you're going to be most of the day. Red is like, oh, okay, I need to go do something about this now. So it lets us know if there's a situation that needs to be addressed immediately.
So if our pee is completely clear, though, that's hydrated.
That's great.
Really? Mm-hmm. But my pee's red, so that's not good.
So it's not good.
That's less great.
For me, it's like, how do you keep them off video games all night?
Oh, that's a good one.
Because my wife has trouble with me doing that. I got to get up at 3:30 in the morning to do my radio show.
Great question. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea.
You can't get enough sleep if you're playing video games all night.
If we can figure out how to do that, we'll win more games. But that's
ever,
one of the harder things to do with NBA athletes.
Like secretly set up an account as not yourself and know their accounts and be like, hey, it's me, Jimmy. Is your name Miles? And watch how long he's playing.
They'd figure that out immediately.
Oh, all right.
I was going to ask about soreness. Does it ever go away for these guys, or are they constantly sore?
There's constantly a level of soreness. Inherently, because these guys are playing a sport that's kind of difficult on their body, it takes a toll. I mean, you guys know just how much a toll traveling takes on your body. So then adding in trying to play, 20, 30, 35 minutes a game, there's always going to be a level of soreness that accompanies that. Where we come in on the performance staff and the athletic training staff is trying to manage that soreness down to a level that they can still be productive on the court. Very seldomly is a guy ever not sore at all. But if we can get them, okay, you went one step down the road of making yourself sore, can we bring you one step back and just keep you in some sort of equilibrium, or at least just so they're not functionally limited when they go to play, because this is their job and they're trying to go out and produce and help our team win. They're trying to feed their families. There's all this stuff that goes into it. That soreness and managing that is really the main part of our job.
We appreciate the time. I need to drink water. Back after this.
Let's wrap with this. Super Bowl MVP odds. Obviously, the 2 quarterbacks are up first, which is Mahomes and Purdy, because the quarterback kind of wins that more than anything.
Easy.
Yeah. Remember when Edelman or James White had 12 catches and Brady still won it?
That's showbiz, baby.
I know.
Christian McCaffrey, 3. Travis Kelce, 4. And then they do what position, and the quarterback is like minus 265. All that from DraftKings. So, we'll talk a bunch about Super Bowl next week. Breaking news, Eddie lost his defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Reed will now be taking over.
Can't wait.
He's going to be running a 9-1-1. 9 guys on the line, 1 linebacker, and then 1 guy back there just having patience.
Ooh, hey, just be patient back there.
Back.
What do I do, Coach? Just be patient.
Be patient. You guys, thank you very much. Go follow us on social media at 25 Whistles. Hope you guys have a good weekend. And Eddie, blow us out.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, bye, everybody.